Òtítọ́ ìtumọ̀ ètò kan. Best of traditional wedding. Gbogbo lólùfẹ́ rẹ̀ ń retí rẹ̀. Best of traditional wedding. Ẹ̀bùn lóríṣiríṣi mẹ́lẹ̀dì ìṣèwé. Best of traditional wedding. Kí lorúkọ ètò náà? Best of traditional wedding. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó kọ́ni lọ́gbọ́n. Best of traditional wedding. Ṣé ti gbọ́? Ètò best of traditional wedding ló lọ lọ́wọ́. Kí lorúkọ ètò náà? Best of traditional wedding. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó kọ́ni lọ́gbọ́n. Best of traditional wedding. Every Tuesday on Instagram. Every Tuesday on Facebook. 6 p.m. UK time. Every Tuesday on Facebook. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó fúnni lóye. Best of traditional wedding. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó fúnni lóye. Best of
traditional weddings. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò yìí, ẹ̀yin tèmi nílé lóko lẹ́yìn òde. Mo kára alé, mo kérò ọ̀nà. Mo kọ́kùnrin, mo kóbìnrin, mo kọ́mọdé, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo kí àgbàlagbà wípé ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò yìí. Orí ètò láwa, ètò wa, ètò yín. Ètò kan náà tí gbogbo wa mọ̀ sí ètò ìgbéyàwó. Let's talk traditional weddings and more with Meettheroyals. Àmọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣe wa lórí ètò yìí kó tó dípò aṣọ ohunkóhun, ṣé ẹ rí pé ẹ kájúbà ọba kọ́dá ayé, ọba àṣẹ̀dá ọ̀run, ọba lánàá, ọba lénìí, ọba títí ayérayé kọrin kése, ẹlẹ́bùrú ìkẹ́, ọba tó gbangba sùn lọ́yẹ́, ọba tó ní ipa tó kọ̀ tí ò pani tó ṣe pé ṣe ló ń pani tó ń pani mọ́, àrí ìran àlá, elétí lu kára bí ajere, elétí gbóhùn gbáròyé, ọba tá a dágbére fún lọ́sẹ̀ tó kọjá pé à ń lọ kábọ̀, tó jẹ́ kójú ṣe fún èmi Olúwabùnmi aya Òṣìbẹ̀rù ti gbayé mọ̀ sí Meettheroyals alága ìjókòó MC olóòtú ètò ìgbéyàwó. Ó jẹ́ kójú ṣe fún mi láti débí lẹ́ni láyé láàyè àti láyé rere. Ọba kan náà jẹ́ kó ṣe fẹ́yìn èèyàn tí ẹ̀ ń wò mí lórí ètò yìí láti tún débí lẹ́ni láyé láàyè àti láyé rere. A ò máa ro fáyọ̀ bí òṣọpẹ́ ògo ìyìn ọlá òní forúkọ Ọlọ́run alágbára. A dúpẹ́ nítorí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ òjò ló ti rọ̀ tí ilẹ̀ ti fi mu, ṣùgbọ́n tẹ́yìn Ọlọ́run kọ̀ déédéé wù yín nínú ọlá ńlá yín láti dá wa sí. Father, we don't take your grace for granted. We are very grateful for preserving our lives, for giving us an opportunity to come back on this beautiful show again. It's Igbeyawo. Thank you, everybody, for always. Thank you for joining me every week. Without you guys, there is no It's Igbeyawo. I'm so grateful for all your support. Those that are already on the show, that are saying well done, that are appreciating us. MC Moon Night, my Wavulence Mama, Temitope Eko, Amodalas. I've seen a lot of people on the show already. Please, if I miss your name, please pardon Mommy Joanna Lucon, Mrs. Show who? I don't know. If I call your name wrong, please forgive me. We are on 3 platforms tonight. At the same time, we are on YouTube, we are on TikTok, and we are also on Instagram. Whichever one you're comfortable with, please feel free to be part of this show tonight. As I always say to us, I come here every week to learn. But before we proceed, let's appreciate those that are supporting us on this show. I want to watch about it. I want to run while we're ready. I want ejika. Si mo jeke wo jabo. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ iléeṣẹ́ Jẹlẹ́ńkẹ́ Duchess. Iléeṣẹ́ Jẹlẹ́ńkẹ́ Duchess níbi tí wọ́n ti ń ta aṣọ ìyàwó, aṣọ ìyá ìyàwó, aṣọ bàbá ìyàwó, aṣọ ọkọ ìyàwó, aṣọ ọmọ ìyàwó, damask lẹ́fẹ́ ni, aṣọ òkè lẹ́fẹ́ ni, ẹ fẹ́ ṣaṣọ ẹbí ni, iléeṣẹ́ Jẹlẹ́ńkẹ́ Duchess ní kẹ́ kàn sí. Bí ẹ ti ẹ fẹ́ ṣe ayẹyẹ, ẹ fẹ́ ṣe wàhálà rárá, kọ́ bá yín ṣe gbogbo stress aṣọ ẹbí yín, kẹ́ tí ẹ má nílò láti ṣe wàhálà kankan. Wọ́n tún ta èèyàn, wọ́n tẹ gbà ọwọ́, wọ́n ta tọrùn, wọ́n ta gold. Iléeṣẹ́ Jẹlẹ́ńkẹ́ Duchess, ẹ ṣeun iléeṣẹ́ yóò ní jóná. Ọwọ́ yín á máa ròkè o, ẹ kú gbogbo ìgbà á máa rí yín bá. Iléeṣẹ́ Celebration International Magazine, bí ẹ fẹ́ yàwòrán ni, tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ káwòrán yín kó máa ṣe bàlàbàlà, tẹ́ tí wọ́n fẹ́ kó bá yín gbé ayẹyẹ yín sórí magazine, ẹ kàn sí iléeṣẹ́ Celebration International Magazine. Iléeṣẹ́ Celebration International Magazine, ẹ ṣeun, ẹ kú gbogbo ìgbà. Àtúndúpẹ́ náà lọ́wọ́ iléeṣẹ́ Lazel Fabrics all the way from Dallas, Texas. Iléeṣẹ́ Lazel Fabrics àwọn náà ń taṣọ, kò sí tẹ́ fẹ́ fi ṣayẹyẹ tí ẹ ò ní rí lọ́dọ̀ wọn. Àwọn náà tún ta 18 karat gold. Ohunkóhun tẹ́ bá fẹ́, iléeṣẹ́ Lazel Fabrics ẹ kàn sí wọn. They will help you, they will take all the stress off you. I just want to celebrate these amazing people for their support every single week. And those that are joining us one more time, I want to say thank you to you people. Without you, there is no ETO IGBEYAWO. Please do me a favor. Share the show. Send it to people. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, the real Miss Banks. Thank you so much. Thank you, Waliko. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Do me a favor, share the show, copy the link and send to people. Remind people that the show has started. We have a very important conversation to do tonight, and this is going to help a lot of people. So if you know people that will be interested in tonight's show, please send them this message. Before we go ahead as well, hey, people that is birthday in the house, so our one and only Iyawo Baba. Hey, who doesn't know Iyawo Baba on this show? Our beautiful sister Modupe Fadimu, Pastor Mrs. Modupe Fadimu. It's her birthday today, people. Please, everyone, happy birthday, Iyawo Baba on the show. She's not on tonight. Iyawo Baba will celebrate you. Happy birthday to you, darling sis. She's our wife. She's our Remo wife. You know, that's what she wants. Iyawo Baba, thank you for always. We celebrate you on your birthday today. Everybody on ETO IGBEYAWO is wishing you happy birthday. We wish you long life, prosperity, in good health, peace of mind in the name of Jesus. I pray that your life will continue to get better and better. You will never know a better yesterday. All your days shall be renewing every day in Jesus' mighty name. God will bless you. God will bless everything that concerns you. God will bless everything that concerns you. Thank you for your support on this show. Happy birthday. Sorry, ETO IGBEYAWO fún Iyawo Baba, our very own Iyawo Baba. I'm sure she's gone out for her birthday. That's why she's not here. So she's always here, coming to celebrate. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Bukilisha. Thank you so much. People are saying happy birthday, Iyawo Baba. Oh, Mommy Joanna, look on. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, MC Monai. Thank you, everybody, for wishing my Iyawo Baba happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. If you are joining us for the first time on this show, this is ETO IGBEYAWO, where we are a family. On this show, we love each other. People come on this show, we become family. And I'm looking forward to do something very soon. I hope you will all answer me when I call you. Very soon, ETO IGBEYAWO community, we're going to have a dinner together. Yes, ETO IGBEYAWO community, you all deserve it. So if you've always been on this show, very soon we're going to figure it out. We're going to work it out, how we're going to come together and celebrate one another. Thank you for always, everybody. Okay. Without taking too much of our time, let's go straight to today's topic, everybody. Moriko, thank you for joining us. Thank you, everybody on TikTok. TikTokers, we know that TikTok needs a lot of tapping so that we keep this live ongoing. Remember to invite people. Whenever you want to say anything about this show, please unmute yourself. Unmute yourself and feel free to say anything at all. And if you cannot talk where you are, remember that you can also send us comments, and I will read your comments and then we will talk about it on this show together. Today's topic, everybody. Mommy John said that would be nice. Yes, we'll gather together one day and celebrate ourselves. So I will let you know how it's going to work. One of these days we'll have to do this every ETO IGBEYAWO family. Now, people, today's topic is talking about something very important. It's so important. Tonight's topic, if everybody had known about it, a lot of people will not be in trouble today. Many people have entered into trouble because they don't have understanding, or many people have been cheated, many people have been robbed of their rights because they don't understand certain things, you know. So tonight we are going to be talking about the Nigerian traditional marriage in the face of the law. The Nigerian traditional marriage in the face of the law. You know that I'm writing a book at the moment. In fact, that book is supposed to have been out by now, but I kept on discovering more and more. And I don't want to launch the book, release it, and then realize, so that's why the book is not yet launched. And that book is actually titled The Nigerian Traditional Marriage in the Face of the Law. Báwo ni òfin ojú wo ni òfin fi wo ìgbéyàwó ìbílẹ̀ ní ilẹ̀ kò ń ṣe ilẹ̀ Yorùbá nìkan o, ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà? Ojú wo ni òfin fi wo ìgbéyàwó ìbílẹ̀? How does the law look at our traditional marriage? You know, a lot of people have entered into trouble because they don't know their rights. A lot of people have entered into trouble because they have a misconception. A lot of people have entered into trouble because, you know, they assume, they didn't find out. And a lot of people are living in ignorance because of what they didn't find out about how the law looks at our traditional marriage. But as our practice on this show, I don't like just bringing topic and shoving it into your face. I first of all want to ask us tonight: the Nigerian traditional marriage, is it legal according to the Nigerian law? Is it legal? How legal is our traditional marriage? Let's first of all start from there. Ṣé ìgbéyàwó ìbílẹ̀ nílẹ̀ ó ṣe Yorùbá nìkan ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà, the Nigerian traditional marriage, whether the Igbo traditional marriage, the Hausa traditional marriage, the Ijaw traditional marriage, the Edo traditional marriage, whatever traditional marriage in Nigeria, in the face of the law, what is the weight of the Nigerian traditional marriage? Is our Nigerian traditional marriage legal? Let's first of all, somebody said yes. MC Mona says yes. Lola Banks, thank you for joining us. Wukilicious, thank you. Oh, thank you, TikTokers. Hey, some people are giving us gifts on TikTok. Oh, thank you. I don't even have to redeem all these gifts that people are giving. They said you have to redeem. You can redeem it. I don't know how to do it. Well, thank you anyway. Thank you, everybody. Please share this show. In fact, if you have not shared any of my show, share this one. This one is so relevant and it's so important, and it's going to help a lot of people. It's going to help a lot of people from getting into mess, and it's also going to help a lot of people from coming out of whatever mess they have found themselves. I'm not a legal practitioner. I did not study law. I studied communication and language arts. I'm a broadcaster by profession, if you want to put it that way. I am not a legal practitioner. But trust me, when I started writing my book, The Nigerian Traditional Marriage in the Face of the Law, I did a lot of research, and I did consulted a lot of legal, I'm not talking legal practitioners, I'm not talking about baby lawyers, I'm not talking about baby barristers or what have you. I contacted people that have been in the industry of law for so long, and also did my research, and I found out a lot of things, which is why I decided to write that book. It's going to come out soon. But for now, let's talk about it. Let's learn one thing or the other. It's only one person that has responded. Okay, two people have responded. Bookilicious has responded that the Nigerian traditional marriage is legal. Shy. It's legal. Yes, thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Who else agrees that the Nigerian traditional marriage is legal? MC Mona said yes, it is legal. Please feel free to unmute if you're on TikTok. Until one day I had muted you for now, but if you want to talk, please kindly unmute yourself. If you want to come on the show, please feel free to come on the show. And if you want to call, you can actually call my phone. What's this phone number again? I will try and call the phone number. You can call, you'll be on live, and then you can actually air your opinion on this show, especially on this particular show. Now, I said, if you have never shared any of my shows, make sure you share this one. You know why? A lot of people need this information, but they don't know where to find it. A lot of people are in a mess. They're entangled because they don't know how to they don't know how to come out of it. Thank you, ma. Thank you, Auntie Andy. She said we always enjoy your contribution. Oh, she said Bukilicious, we always enjoy your. Thank you so much. So please feel free to say something on this show. Now, I have asked the question: is the Nigerian traditional marriage legal? Yes or no? Only 2 people have responded, and the 2 people have said yes. Does anybody have a contrary opinion? Do you think that the Nigerian traditional marriage is legal? And when I say Nigerian traditional marriage, I'm talking about Hausa, Igbo marriage, Yoruba marriage, Yoruba traditional marriage, Edo traditional marriage, whatever, any traditional marriage in Nigeria. Somebody said, Auntie Wande said yes, it's legal. Thank you. He said he just got the number 1 gift badge. I understand the TikTok itobaya. So, for those that have said yes, I'm going to ask a further question before I shed light on this. When you say the Nigerian traditional marriage is legal, how legal is it? I don't know how to put that question. How legal is it? What do you mean when you say the Nigerian traditional marriage is legal? If I if I get married according to the what's it called now, the Nigerian tradition or customs and rights, that I am legally married. How do I prove that? Now, let me make my question a bit more easy to answer. You know, when you married in the, let me say in the court, for example, like the registry, you have a certificate to prove that you are married legally. And now we are saying that the Nigerian traditional marriage is legal. How do we prove or that yes, I'm married traditionally and it is legal? How do we prove that to a third party or to anybody or anywhere where we have to prove it? Some give us certificates in the traditional marriage in Nigeria. Okay, it is legal in customary law, ma'am. Thank you, Bookalicious. Okay, somebody said people give out certificates in Nigerian traditional marriage during Nigerian traditional marriage. Now we are going to go there. I don't want to rush. I don't want us to miss any part of this conversation because I have to be careful so that people will have a clear understanding and nobody is confused. What did I do? Okay, what did I do with my pen? Somebody said we've answered two questions. Yes, Nigerian traditional marriage is legal. Now I said how legal is Nigerian traditional marriage. Somebody said they issue certificates. Okay, one of the reasons why somebody thinks that Nigerian traditional marriage is legal is because sometimes they issue certificates during the Nigerian traditional marriage. Okay, now talking about issuing of certificates, how somebody said once you have pictorial evidence, you can prove it. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, somebody said yes, it is legal according to the customary law. Thank you, ma'am. Our grandfather, that's how they married back in the day. Thank you, ma'am. MC Mona says customary court. You're right, ma'am. We have family court or customary court, so it's recognized even without certificate. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now let me quickly pause and say something about that certificate of a thing. You know, when it comes to issuing, please, TikTokers, ẹ ṣáà máa tap. TikTok ti ń wọ̀nù mi láì tẹ̀ tí débi kọ̀ọ̀kan pé this show is gonna call. Ẹ bá máa tap àìjẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀, ó kàn máa cut wa off ni. Now, when we're talking about the certificate, let's talk about the certificate. The Marriage Act, which is the one that we do in courts, let's call the registry. Yeah, that's the easier way to say it. When you see people stand in front of, if I don't even know what's going on in Nigeria, wọ́n ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé Ìkòyí registry nìkan ni registry tó ṣàbàgbé certificate níwájú Ìkòyí registry wọ́n máa ní pé we are married according to that is the Marriage Act in case I'm referring to it. Now, talking about the certificate that they issue during traditional weddings, I have something to say to us regarding that. In Nigeria, we have, I can't even remember, I can't recall the number of alagas that we have, let alone all over the countries. There is no single certificate that binds everybody together. There is no single certificate that the alagas have as a whole body that joins them together that is recognized. People issue, I used to issue certificate until one day I said to myself, wait, certificates go really issue go. Is it actually tenable anywhere? So at the moment, the ones that alagas issue during the traditional marriage is not really something that could really be recognized or accepted when it comes to going for legal battle or for whatever. So those ones that's different alagas, for example, the one I used to issue, it has my name on it, it says Meettheroyals, and I used to be the one that signed it. So anybody can do that. Even people can issue certificate without you having that. So we just realized that sure really makes sense, could make sense. So most people don't do it anymore. And also, yes, now the alaga industry in Nigeria, abroad, they are trying to come together to form one party and trying to see how we can push this forward. However, if you want certificates if you want your marriage certificate that is able to prove that you are married, that is when you have the issue of the customary law, like MC Monite and some other people have said on this show, and Populations have said on this show, many people have mentioned it on this show, that there is the Nigerian traditional marriage is legal according to the customary law. So if you really want to have a certificate for your Nigerian traditional marriage, after whatever you have done, the parents come together and then they've done the ceremony, it would be nice if you want to take it a bit further and you want to make it legal, you can take it further by going to apply for a certificate, a customary in a customary court, and it will help you to have one thing to show for your traditional marriage. But most people don't bother to do that just because they give their certificates in church and they give their certificates when they go to registry. In Nigeria, it has almost become a custom, or should I say a tradition or a norm, like that we have to do 3 types of marriages. Yes. MC Mona said we have a family court or customary court, so it's recognized even without certificate. Okay, of course. And then once your family sits, when your parents sit, when the parents of the groom, the parents of the bride, they sit down and they publicly do a marriage or conduct a marriage, and they give their consent, and there is a payment of um dowry or whatever they will do, bride price and all of that. You have been married according to tradition and custom of that particular land where you come from. Now, bearing that in mind, that it all differs from different tribes. It differs from different tribes. Even within the same tribes, it differs from family to family. You know, the requirement differs from family to family. But once you follow what your family requirement is, or what your custom and your tribe or whatever, what they request for, and both families sit and they give their consent, it means that you have been married legally. Now, why is it that okay, let me put the question this way. I will say on, if you can hear me, say yes. If you can hear me, say yes. This is so important. This is not a lecture. I want us to be part of this conversation like we always do. You know, this, for those of us that are just joining us, I can see quite a lot of people joining us again on TikTok. We're talking about the Nigerian traditional marriage in the face of the law. Now, compared to the other 2 marriages, which one is more legal and why? When I say 2 other marriages, I'm talking about the Marriage Act, which is the one that takes place in the registry. And thank you so much, sir, Uncle Tokes. Thank you, and thank you so much, Banjo. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. So, between the 3 marriages that we do in Nigeria is now, it has become a custom, it has become a tradition, it has become something that we are all welcome. That we now do court marriage, which is the registry. We do the traditional marriage, which is marriage according to custom and tradition, and then we also do the religious marriage, which is like church marriage or nikai, whatever as it may be. So now let's talk about this. Which one is more legal? Let us assume that somebody decided to do one out of those 3. Which one is more legal? We say that these 3 marriages are legal, if you want to say it that way. Now, let's talk about which one is more legal out of these 3 marriages and why. Okay, people, don't be quiet on me. Let's bring it on. Let's bring it on. Let's bring it on. If you know and why, which one is, or should I say, which is one more legal than the other? Let me put that way. In fact, this thing is so interesting that we can't finish it. We cannot finish it on this one single episode. Trust me. But please say something. You can unmute yourself if you're online. I can see 2 people are online. If you want to join me on TikTok and you want to unmute yourself, please feel free to unmute yourself. I want you to tell me which one is more legal out of the 3 different marriages that we do in Nigeria. You know, as the people have done it, they've made it like a normal thing. We're going to call a registry. After registry, or they do traditional, another traditional, they will go to church or they will do nikai. Some people do the 3 in like a day or something, but at least a lot of time now, people actually do 3 different marriages in Nigeria. Why do people do three different marriages in Nigeria? Which of the marriages is more legal? Which one is more legal? Which one would you opt for if you want to advise somebody, and why? Please, let's talk, guys. Let's talk. Bring it on. Bring it on. If you're online, you can unmute yourself, or you can send me a request to join, or you can type your answer. I'll be reading people's comments. Which one is more legal? I'm not going to be the only one talking now. So I'm going to wait for people to talk until I hear from you. I am not moving on from here. They are all legal, both at high court and customary courts. Yes, we agree to that, sir. Thank you, sir. Uncle Talks Sholuwade, we agree to that. Thank you so much. But one is actually one is actually, I don't want to be the one saying it. Do you think somebody said they are both legal, high court? I want to find out. If you think one is more legal than the other, which one is more legal and why? Which one is more legal and why? I have my reasons for asking that question. All are legal. Okay. I have my reasons for asking those questions. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. We can hear you, ma'am.
I think the traditional one is more legal than the church or the mosque one because there is no point you going to the church for another wedding once you've done your traditional wedding that is supported by both families, both parents. If the church does not have certificates to marry anybody, you have just gone to do Thanksgiving in white wedding, in white dress.
Okay. I think the baby just interrupted her. She had to come off. She's probably going to come back once she attends to the baby. Temitope Eko says all are legal, but traditional is much more important. Okay, Lisha says traditional is more. Mommy Joanna Lucon says court marriage, and if the church, they have to have license. Thank you, ma, for that particular church to be able to conduct marriage. Thank you so much, ma. I am just going to quickly shed more light on this one. I was actually enjoying the conversation that Vocations was on about, but of course she has to attend to the baby. Now, you are right that traditional marriage, church or mosque or inekai, and what's it called now? The registry are all legal, but one is more legal than the other, and I will tell you why. When you say traditional marriage, once you marry according to the Nigerian traditions, your custom, I hope we're getting this, please. If you're going to have to come back to watch, unfortunately TikTok does not retain the conversation. After a while we don't see this conversation anymore on TikTok, but at least that's why we record it on YouTube and on Instagram as well. Now I want us to get this right, and I don't want us to get it mixed up. The Nigerian traditional marriage is legal, is recognized, is acceptable as a form of marriage in Nigeria and even abroad or anywhere. It's recognized as a form of marriage. The church or the Islamic wedding, or should I call it the religion, let me call it the religion wedding, are also legal and is recognized in most places. And then the courts, or should I call it the registry, is also legal and is recognized. Now, the reason I asked the question, which one is more legal than the other? For anybody that is married according to customs, which is the traditional marriage, I hope we're getting this. That person, for example, if you're married as a woman to a man, one of the criteria, or should I say one of the bots, no, let me say one of the bots that is in it, or should I say one of the clauses, I would rather use the word clauses, that is in it, is that according to the Nigerian tradition, culture, and custom, that man is allowed to marry another woman. Please get this right. Polygamy is allowed in the Nigerian traditions and customs, and that's why our forefathers, when they did it, they married more than one wife and there was no problem. Now, the second thing here is, if that person had also gone ahead after their traditional marriage to marry in church, and the church or mosque has the license, like somebody has said, they have to have the license to marry people, to join couples together. There's a lot of people that think that they are married, but they are not married. They're just wasting their times because they got married in church or in mosque. They are joined by pastors or imams that do not have the right to join any couple. If there's any reason to fight any legal fight or any legal whatever, and they realize that the church or the building in which you got married does not have the requirements, which is the license to join couples together, that marriage is useless. It has nothing. It's like you didn't marry. You just wear white for nothing. Please, if you want me to slow down, let me know. You just marry for nothing. You just go to church to go and just do nothing. But if that church of that or the religious body that you're going to marry, if they have the proper license to join couples together, then your marriage will be referred to as legal marriage. Mr. Took says, but statutory customaries are legal under the law. Both statutories and customary are legal under the law. Yes, sir. I'm just trying to say what could make the difference between these three. Now, Nigerian traditional marriage is referred to as customary, which is legal in the face of the law. Yes, they are legal. But now, somebody that is married customary, and then the person did not do court marriage, which is the marriage act. If you did not do the court marriage, your spouse, especially the man is allowed to have another wife without any stress, without any problem, without any issue. As far as that man is concerned, even though your marriage is legal, but it does not ban them or stop them from marrying another wife. Polygamy is allowed. However, if that person after doing the traditional marriage has gone to the registry and married under the marriage act, that man dare not marry another woman. And if they do marry another woman, it is a criminal offense under the Nigerian law. It's a criminal offense. That person can be charged with bigamy. What do they call it now? Bigamy no. So please, people, let me know if you heard what I've just said and if you understand, or you want me to pause, or you want me to go over it again. Yes, the three marriages can be legal: the religious marriage, the court marriage, as well as the traditional marriage. They are all legal. They are all recognized. But trust me, one is more legal than the other. Yes, somebody said criminal offense everywhere. Yes, if you marry somebody in the court, like in the registry. Yeah, I kept saying if you marry somebody in the registry and you remarry somebody else, if you marry somebody else, whether you marry that person traditionally or you marry that person in church or you marry that person in any way, as long as you have the marriage certificate of getting married in the registry, you are committing an offense. It's a criminal offense to marry somebody. But if you only marry that person traditionally and you marry somebody else again, it is not a criminal offense. Please say yes if you get my if you get my information, because sometimes these things can be quite confusing. Let me know if you pick that information, or if you get that information, if I got you right, or if you get me right, or if you want me to go back and explain again. Because I'm telling you, many I'm going to tell you a story, a life story that happened to somebody that I know. I will tell you. Yes, thank you, ma'am. Mommy John, only concerns they can hear me. Please, if you can hear me, say yes. If you understand what I've just explained, say yes. And another thing again is, if you're married to a man for on that which I'm going to tell the story. Yes, if you marry somebody for 20 years, you're married, according to the tradition, or you went to a church or wherever, and the person decided to go and marry somebody else under the act, the marriage act, which is marrying somebody else in the registry, you become the illegal wife, even though you've been together for 27. If you marry somebody only àti traditional ó ti wá ní màmá mi like àwọn Nigerian máa ń dáṣà gan ìfẹ́ làwọn ará wa ní east lọ́wọ́ máa gbọ́, you don't do something small on top of my head, you do something small on your head. fine, it is a customary marriage. But if that guy decides to go and marry somebody else in the registry, you become the illegal wife. That other person have more rights than you to be with that man. And that's going to take me to my story. Some of us on this show will probably know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to mention him. I'm going to keep it anonymous. Some people will know who I'm talking about. I know someone very well. Yeah, exactly. That's what Lizzie did. Yes. This is even someone that is very, that is close to her. She's been married to her husband for almost 2 decades. Almost 2 decades. All of a sudden, the man started following a young girl and blah blah. She was fighting. Don't go near my husband. You kiniko ole ofe Jimmy loko. And the man said, you know what? Ma worry. She told me, the man now went to marry the woman. And the man now took the man took the woman, this new woman, to the registry. And this other woman started fighting. I've been with him for 20 something years. They told her, sorry, according to the law, yes, you are married. He has the right to be responsible for your children. He has the right to be responsible to you. He has the right to do what he's supposed to do to you. But according to the law, this is the owner of husband, because they've married under the Marriage Act. And this is why I have brought this show here today. The woman nearly lost it. Imagine being with somebody for 20 something years. Yes, there are parts of the law that will favor the woman and say, okay, she spent most of her time with you, you've been together, you've cohabited, you have done this, you've done it, you've done it. They will not even probably use some terms for the first wife in quotes, and they will now say, well, now that he has gone ahead to marry somebody else under the act, that person has more legal rights, has more legal access to this man than this one that is just under customary law. And this is one of the reasons I'm bringing up this topic to us today. That if you know anybody that's married, àti ṣe mọ̀mí mọ́ o, àti ṣe dáná o, we have carried the wine o, we have done this o, we've done that. If you know anybody that did that and they did not go to the registry, fine, their marriage is legal, but the registry will supersede if it comes to the if it comes to the crunch or whatever they call it. The marriage of that person would have more weight under the law, or should I say will be more recognized in the face of the law than the one that got married in the according to tradition. And that is why nowadays you see most people going 3 times into the place of marriage. You see them going to do the traditional, you see them going to do the church or mosque, and then you see them still going to the registry. Registry is the baba of all of them. Once that marriage certificate that you get from the registry is there, you have covered most of the in fact, anybody that get married in that court dare not try to marry somebody else. The person will become like it will be a bigamy, so to speak. So please let us be educated, let us know these things. I've seen a lot of people. The woman nearly lost it. This woman I'm talking about, she nearly lost it. She's been with her husband for so long, and it's so painful that she didn't have any choice. The other person became the most legal, the most recognized wife to the man, because he has gone to marry under the Marriage Act, which is married in the registry. So if you're here, you are married to your spouse, you've been married for years, you've been married for days, you've been married for months, you've been married for whatever, you only did traditional marriage, fantastic. There is absolutely nothing wrong in doing traditional marriage. There is absolutely nothing, the law recognizes it, they believe in it. But bear in mind that if your traditional marriage is Nigerian, any part of Nigerian traditional marriage, it is not against the law for your spouse to marry a second wife or take another woman. It's not against the law. And also bear in mind that if the person that you married to decide to go to take the other woman to registry, that means that other person has more legal rights than you. So if you think that Hey, I did not know that, yo. I didn't know that I have to go to. It's not too late. Go to registry. Go and legalize, as in tie the knot tighter. The knot is tight, but it's probably not tight enough. But having said that, we have a lot of people that are married according to tradition and they didn't do anything else. That's it. That's they're married and they're married and they stay together. And there was no reason for them to worry, because they trust their spouse and there's no, Now another thing why I said that the registry marriage is more, carries more weight according to the law is, for example, if you need your if you need to prove anything. Oh, thank you, sis. M1 event. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you. Only big sis, Ekale, your gile, and accessories on point. Thank you, sis. I appreciate you. So, if you're just joining us, we're talking about the Nigerian traditional marriage in the face of the law. How legal is our traditional marriage? So the back, all our traditional marriage is legal. It is recognized under the customary law. There is a family court. If there's anything to be resolved, there's anything to be talked about, if there's any reason to dissolve a traditional marriage, it will be dissolved in the court of law. Now, and in the customary court, sorry, it will be dissolved in the according to the customary law. It will be dissolved according to the customary law. Somebody said, kudos to our traditional marriage for allowing for flexibility and extra. I know that will come from a man. Only a man will put that kind of comments. Only a man. Our men, they love that law. I wish this law sometimes, this our law in Nigeria is a little bit one-sided. If you can allow men, why can't you allow women? But then we are and this is not even the bone of contention this evening. The reason we are saying this is not because we want to kind of highlight the fact that you can marry a second wife or you can marry a third wife or you can do. That's not the reason we are doing this. The reason we are doing this is for you to know where you are, to know where you stand. It's so sad. It will be so shocking and painful for somebody to have been married to somebody for like how many years, and then you suddenly receive the shocker of your life that the marriage that you did is not really as legal as other ones, and somebody else has more right to your spouse than you. Hey, Jennifer, thank you for joining us. Now, let's talk about the religious marriage. Before we move on to the next thing, let's talk about it, because I have a lot of things that I highlighted here that I want us to do you know kind of thing, like do you know that I'm going to be talking about them, and we're going to thank you so much, Jeff Noise. Now somebody said men chew more than what they can consume. Benny, they will chew and their mouth will be full and their belly will be full. They will not be looking for somebody to help them. That's a discussion for another day. Now it is the Yoruba man sọ pé àti jẹlẹ́dẹ̀ yùngbàyùngbà àti sanwó ẹ̀ńkọ́ tìkọ̀tìkọ̀. All these things are easier said than, the flexibility and everything, but then we know that it doesn't really worth it. Obìnrin kan gan ò rọrùn láti run, let's alone kìíní, but that's not what we're talking about. That's not what we are focusing on tonight. Tonight what we are focusing on is the fact that you know your stand. Kò sí nǹkan tó ṣe traditional marriage wa, àwọn ìyá wa ṣe, àwọn bàbá ńlá wa wọn ṣe kó tó di pé òyìnbó gbé àṣà òfin káfí òfin de èèyàn, kó tó di pé òyìnbó gbé irú àṣà yẹn dé. Before we even have any what is it called, like kí ló máa àwọn òyìnbó tó kó àṣà wa sọ́dọ̀ wa, we didn't have anything else. This is what we knew and this is what we did. And there were some people that still had one man one wife, even back in the days. There are people that still had one man one wife, and we still have people that did have more than one wife and they were fine with it. But that's not what we are going to tonight. What we are going to tonight is know your rights, know where you are, know what you signed up for. Now let's talk about the religious wedding. The religious wedding, religious marriage, the one they do in church or the one that their fathers do. A lot of people are married in courts, but they are not married. Because if you marry in church and they issue you certificates, signing of marriage, man, people will be signing marriage certificates in church. I remember those days, I lo 10 minutes, I'm calling them, I'm signing marriage certificates lẹ́yìn. Wọn ò tí ì dé o. Pastor sign, ọkọ sign, ìyàwó sign, ìyá ìyàwó, bàbá ọkọ, everybody will sign, only to discover that that certificate is of no use. If that pastor or that particular parish or religious body or the afar or the imam, if they do not have the proper license to join couples together, that marriage certificate is useless. Anybody can go and print marriage certificates and make you sign. And it's just the same thing as what some alagas issues. I used to issue certificate. I stopped doing it because it doesn't make any sense. We need two more. Somebody will just sign. Maybe you just want to have it for the sake of having it or keeping it. Okay, keep on putting back to Meettheroyals. Meettheroyals, lo shalaga mi o. Hey, that is why I have the certificate. Apart from that, there is no usefulness in that certificate at all, at all. You know. So religious body that marry people out without yes, a embarrassing event. Yes, he said hello mama, hope you're okay. Do you still do alaga? Please, I would like to embarrassing event. God bless you. Please DM me after the live show. Thank you. So please, if you marry in church and your marriage certificate is issued to you in church, find out whether that church has the license to marry couples. A lot of people have found themselves in this predicament where they think they've been married for years and years, only to discover that that church is a mushroom church who do not have the proper certification or the proper license to marry couples. And that means that marriage is null and void. Null and void. You know, God forbid that we find ourselves in that kind of situation after years and years of marriage. You suddenly realize that you're not really married. Okay, well, white wedding, you know, oh, single, praise the Lord. No, that's not what we are saying. It's only church that is licensed or alaga that is licensed and registered that can issue certificates. Even alaga that is, I don't know, I need to talk more about that alaga that is licensed, you know. So please, people, make sure that you get it right from the beginning. Make inquiries. Don't just hire anybody. Don't just I've seen people just go and call pastor and they will just join them and they say they are married. No. If whoever is joining you together in matrimony, whether holy matrimony or cultural matrimony or, you know, registry matrimony, whoever is joining you together must be certified, must have the license to be able to do so. Yes, I know. I done it before. You know, as I said to us, as we do this job, we learn and we unlearn. I've learned a lot of things since I started doing this job, and I've also unlearned a lot of things. Sometimes I used to do it back in the days. I would laugh when I remember now. I finished you know. You understand? That's why these days, the more you grow in this job, you find out that you don't have to follow trends. You don't have to follow trends. Following trends. Oof, that's not it. You understand? But some of the trends that people are following does not make any sense. It doesn't have anything to do with our culture and tradition. It's just waste of time, or maybe just for fun, or making it look like our traditional marriage is a thing of joke. You know, it's not a thing of joke. You can't go to church and see pastors messing about. You know, they are serious when they are conducting marriages, and also in the registry they are serious when they are conducting marriages. Although humor and jokes and everything is part of our way of delivering our job as an alaga. But please do not let us be distracted by that. Let us bear in mind that we are ministers on our own. You know, we are officials in our own, officiating ministers. When we kind of what do you call it now? When you kind of join couples together, it's a serious issue. It's not joke. No. It's deeper than that. And that's why you have to dress appropriately. You have to use the right word. You have to use the right attitude. You have to use the right word and everything. MC Mona says, license as in the customary people are present to issue it. Yes, ma'am. So if you want to get the legal certificate for your traditional marriage, please contact your customary court or your local customary court. They can give you a certificate for that. But trust me, even with that certificate, if your spouse will decide to go and marry in the registry, that one will supersede this particular one in terms of whether or not the person can marry the second wife or anything. Now, it will be helpful to make effort to find out. Then the Meettheroyals says alagat can't give license. You only have to go to your local council to inform them of your traditional marriage, and your customary marriage license will be issued to you. Yes, you are right. That's what I've just explained. Thank you so much, ma'am. And now let's talk about some few points that are so important as well, that can make the legal part of our Nigerian traditional marriage to become illegal. or make it useless or render it null and void. Some practices that we do in the Nigerian traditional marriage that can make it become useless, that can take away the legal part of it or the relevance of it, or that can just what's the point? There's no point. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of practices that we are doing nowadays. That's why people don't just follow trends. Don't just follow trends. It can be very, very dangerous when we are just following trends. Let me say one of the most popular one that happens. When people return the bride price. Hey, Jesus Christ. When people return the bride price, when you say, please, all the alagas on this show, I want you to come out. What effect would that have when you say, or you return the bride price, or you return the some of the things that is brought to you as a list that you give, as a condition that you give to a particular family to come and marry your daughter, and now you return the money. What is the implication of that action? Pardon me. What is the implication of that action on the legal, should I call it now, on how legal our traditional marriage is? Hey, Joe, people, I need your answer in this. I don't want to be the only one talking. Everybody's going quiet. If you're on TikTok, say something to me. If you're on Instagram, please say something to me. When people return the bride price, or they return the gifts that family brought to seek for, you are the one that give them lists in the first place. In that list, you have everything lined up or lined out or highlighted, and at the end of the ceremony, we now decide that hero, I want to for whatever reason. Most of the time now, the people say please, we are giving it back. What is the implication of that particular act or action on the legality of our traditional marriage? Returning bride price simply means you didn't approve of the marriage. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. That's coming from Bookilicious. Returning the traditional marriage, returning the bride price. What is the implication of that on the legal aspect of our traditional marriage? We've established the fact that we've established the fact that our traditional marriage is definitely legal. It is legal. We have a lot of criteria under the law that lists things to follow for you to be legally married according to the customs and rights and tradition of your particular tribe that you come from. Now I've seen a trend where people return the bride price or the dowry. What is the implication of it? If you wouldn't collect bride price, don't put it in the list given to the groom's family. Okay? No dowry, no marriage. It's null and void. One of the major, God bless you, Mass, Bookilicious, MC Monite, even going, why won't you put bride price in a list? It is part of the requirements. If you go and read up, I'm really working fast. I'm working so hard to make sure that this book that I'm writing comes out soon as possible. But if you go and read up about the individual tribes and culture, you see the criteria per particular culture and particular tribe or family that you come from. If part of the criteria of your particular tribe is payment of dowry, payment of bride price, and you now decide that for whatever reason, especially for the reason of you return the dowry, what you have just done in that place is just like when you are issued a certificate of marriage and you just do like this. You just rip it into two. That's what you have just done. The traditional part of that marriage, everything, it is rendered it useless. If there's any reason for any legal battle in future, God forbid, if there's any reason for the woman to prove that I'm married to this family And if those other people have good lawyer, the lawyer will tell you in the court of law, well, lóòótọ́ ó fẹ́ wa níṣu afẹ́ níṣu lọ́kà ṣùgbọ́n àwọn òbí ẹ̀ wọ́n dá owó orí padà. In fact, in some tribes, in some cultures, let me tell you how important tí owó orí jẹ́ nínú ìgbéyàwó ìbílẹ̀. Uncle Talks, let me quickly read your comments. Thank you, Auntie Waliko. She says, well done. Thank you, ma. Doc said it's as good as saying the marriage is not legal. Family needs to be educated on what the bride price dowry stand for. Traditionally, it should be on the list. Thank you, sir. I think you should write a book on or do a documentary on bride price and dowry. Okay, I'll put that down on my list of what to do. But in my next book that I'm writing at the moment, it's going to be coming out very soon by God's grace. I'm nearly done. Trust me, I'm just taking my time. In my next book, there's about 3 chapters that actually address this particular issue that we're talking about. Things that can render traditional marriage null and void. It's part of faith. You know, Marison Event says many families say they return it because they are not selling their daughters. Yeah, that is what they say. Now, I don't know. I did not know since when payment of bride price or dowry becomes selling their daughters. It's part of our culture. It's part of the criteria. Now, if you read up any legal backup as to what makes a traditional marriage, one of them is the payment of dowry and bride price according to the custom and tradition of that place. In fact, some families, their bride price is not even up to £1, but you must pay it. Some family, their own is big. Some family, their own is small. And then let me tell you how important the dowry or the bride price is. Let me tell you how important it is. There are some tribes in the East that once the marriage does not work, maybe for some reason in the future they didn't work, they do another ceremony which they call bride price return ceremony, where they will gather family again to dissolve the marriage, and the bride would have to place the dowry, the amount of money that was paid on her head, will have to place it down to the groom's family. They have to perform that. That is their way of doing a proper divorce or separation, according to their custom. So imagine you have already returned the dowry. Sherry Ashapa, when your man that way, our Tomo, wow, we're not selling our children. I have heard where a man said to his bride, to his wife, pé Ọlọ́run kúkú ṣe, ó kú gbowó orí ẹ̀, wọ́n dá padà ní. Ìyàwó Sàrà ni ẹ́, you're of no use. So which one is now better? Because the fear that people have for saying that is I don't want anybody telling my child, orí wọ́n gba gbogbo owó orí ẹ̀ because ṣùgbọ́n tí bàbá ẹ̀ ti gbowó ìyá ẹ̀ ti gbowó. As a result of that, that's the fear. God bless you, ma. Welcome to the show, ma. Ben.
So which one is now better?
MC Monite. Can you talk to us, ma? I think your thing is echoing. Please, ma, unmute yourself. Okay. Please unmute yourself. I think I could hear myself back. I think echo from another device. I think MC Monite want to tell us. MC Monite, by the way, if you don't know, is a very seasoned traditional wedding compare. She's an expert in this job. I can tell you that she knows her stuff. So please, ma, I muted you because I could hear myself back. Once you're ready to speak to us, I would like to hear from you, ma. I would really like to hear from you. Please unmute yourself and talk to us. Bukilicious, if you want to talk to us, please feel free to unmute yourself. Yeah, like somebody said, you know, what is the point? Come on, let's talk about oh, time. Number one, nobody can pay you. Okay, nobody can pay you the amount of money that you spent on your child. Imagine somebody telling me that my own enemy, they can pay for it in a day. You know. Oh, okay. I thought we were trying to joke. Okay, ma. So please, people, let's bear in mind that one of the major things that we should stop doing, that is rendering our traditional marriage non-avoid without us knowing, is the return of bride price. Please, let's stop doing it. Alaga, educate your client, tell them returning bride price is just like ripping off a marriage certificate from when before it even starts. I have started telling my clients, I want to but I always discourage it. You know, I discourage it as much as we can. Like we said, we didn't know when somebody started the trend. I don't even know who started that trend. A lot of people dived into it, including myself. But as I said, we learn and we unlearn. So let's bear that in mind. Now, also another thing that somebody can do that can make the traditional marriage useless is when let me read them here. I have them here. Let me just read them here. Because I have quite a number of things that people are doing wrong. You know. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to bring up the yeah. We've established the fact that did you know that returning the bride price officially ends a customary marriage in many Nigerian cultures. That's a legal symbol that the union has been dissolved. So please, let's stop doing it. It's not right. It's so wrong. And I hope that we all learn. Then also, the family consent in traditional marriage is very, very, very virtual. It is very vital. And we've seen where people go and do traditional marriage that their mother will not be there, their father will not be there, their family will not be there. They'll just gather some people together that have nothing to do with that child, and they will say they are doing traditional marriage. They just go and carry strangers. Don't about tell parents me, but that's the problem to one again, and they will go and do traditional. No, part of Nigerian traditional culture and traditional marriage rights is the fact that your parents have to give consent, your family have to give consent. In a situation where you no longer have parents, there must be somebody of father figure or mother figure that must sit in place of your parents or head of family or whatever to give their consent. When family don't give their consent and you go and join yourselves together in one corner and you think you have done traditional marriage, if anything comes forward in the future and the other person has good lawyer, they are going to overturn you in the court of law. You have just, before the marriage even started, you have just ended it by not allowing your parents to give their consent. So the legal part of, one of the major legal parts of Nigerian traditional marriage is also the parental consent. Parental consent is very, very important. Apart from the fact that the dowry must be, must never be returned. Dowry is one of the major abuses, like a bride price. One of the major criteria. If you return it, you have just rendered the marriage null and void. Thank you so much, those who are just joining us. Joanna Shani, thank you for joining us. Duchess Briggs, thank you for joining us. She even shared the live show. Thank you. Funke Ayoyemi, thank you. Sorry if I can't pick your name. Mama Odelo Goose, yay! Thank you for joining us, ma'am. I'm just going to recap very quickly for those who are just joining us. We're about to end this segment of this talk conversation. Tonight, we're talking about the legal part of Nigerian traditional marriage. Our Nigerian traditional marriage in the face of the law. Please bear in mind that I did not say Yoruba traditional marriage. I'm talking about the Nigerian traditional marriage in the face of the law. What does the law say about our traditional marriage? How does the law see our traditional marriage? Is it legal? Does it work anywhere? We've been able to establish the fact that yes, our traditional marriage is very legal. It is recognized in the face of the law, and if anything happens and you want to dissolve the marriage, usually it will be at the customary court for you to be able to do that. So the customary law does actually binds the Nigerian traditional marriage and makes it legal. Then also we said if you wanted a certificate like the other marriages, if you wanted certificate, please, after you do your traditional marriage, you can approach your customary court and they will give you a certificate. We also said that the marriage certificate that have been rendered by alagas for now is of no use. It's just for fun. It doesn't really carry much weight, except if you just want to keep record that so and so person was your alaga when you got married. Then we said things that can make the Nigerian traditional marriage less legal, or should I say the one that is more recognized, is the registry. When you go to registry, you make your marriage more legal, because in the customary or traditional law, your spouse is allowed to marry more than one wife. By polygamy is allowed, but if you go to the registry, it is not allowed. So if you wanted that, you have to go to the registry. If you do only traditional marriage, your spouse decide to marry another person in the registry, that person carries more weight. The new marriage carries more weight than yours, even if you have been together for 30 or 40 years. So please bear that in mind. And also with it said that people that are getting married in church, that are getting married in mosque, or that are getting married in the religious way, it is also legal, but only if the person that is conducting the marriage has the proper documentation, and that is license to be able to join couples together. If you go and marry in church or in the mosque, and your alfa or imam or pastor does not have like a license to join you together, that marriage is of no use. It doesn't exist. One day anybody can just wake up and say this marriage does not exist. So check with your church. If they didn't do it, please go and remarry. Go to wherever. Talk says exactly, there should be more awareness initiatives on dowry and bride price. What will happen if parents say no, but the lady is ready to move on to my house? Well, I'm going to get to that. I like that question. Now we're talking about things that can now render your traditional marriage null and void. Null and void. One of the major things that people do, please, TikTokers, please tap. TikTokers, please tap. Oh, tap. Don't let the live show go off. Tap, keep tapping. I can't see you tap. Please tap. Now, we've said it, and just recapping for those that are just joining us, we've said it that one of the main things that can make your traditional marriage useless is when you return the dowry. Dowry is one of the main things where your marriage is recognized. You know, if you go and say, what you have just done is you have just dissolved the marriage without you knowing. Because in some tribes, they do ceremony to actually return the bride price. See, marriage yẹn ò bá work, bí ọlọ́jọ́ iwájú tí kò work, bí wọ́n ti lo 10 years, 5 years, ọkọ yẹn ò wá fẹ́yàwó yẹn mọ́, wọ́n máa láti ṣe ceremony láti dá owó orí yẹn padà, pé gbà o, you know. And also in some tribes, if you marry their child, you didn't do the right, you didn't do the traditional right, tí ọmọ yẹn bá, God forbid, tí ìyàwó yẹn bá kú, kó tó di pé wọ́n sin, all the rites has to be done. Everything has to be observed before they bury the person. That's how important traditional marriage is in some cultures. Now, what I was saying before other people came in now is about other things that could render the marriage null and void, which I like the question that Stokes asked. If, for example, we said one other thing that needs to be put into consideration is to make sure that your parents consent to your marriage, your family members consent to your marriage. You don't just go and join yourself with some people and say, oh, what telling me, John? Come and help me to go and do the clinic, and you just go and do it. If the parent did not consent, the family did not consent to it, it is not marriage. There has to be parental consent and family consent. Now, the question that Uncle Tokes is asking here, he says, what will happen if parents say no, but the lady is ready to move to my house? Oh yeah, you're a jogbon. I think we treated this topic like 2 weeks ago, Abby. When your parents do not accept your choice of partner, we treated it 2 Tuesdays ago, Abby, last week. Then, oh yeah, people, Uncle Tox is asking us a question. Where is everybody? Don't go quiet on me. Because everybody come out. Somebody said, then go to court with 2 witnesses. Okay. Somebody said, what will happen if parents say no, but the lady is ready to move to my house? Thank you. Somebody has given you an alternative to, well, you probably not just go ahead with traditional marriage. You can do, like somebody said, you can go to registry. In registry, they don't insist that your parents have to be there. Registry just insists there must be at least 2 witnesses. So take 2 friends to the registry and you go and get married. And then later, you know, maybe you keep persuading your parents, keep begging them, keep on looking to God and trusting God that one day they will change their mind, then you can do your traditional marriage. But if you decided to go and do traditional marriage without your parental consent, kò fìdí múlẹ̀. gẹ́gẹ́ bí àṣà àti ìṣe kò fìdí múlẹ̀. Do we have anybody else have any question? Only one person have been asking question. I love that question so much. Okay. Now, also we need to bear in mind that women that got married under customary marriage have right to property and inheritance. Nigerian courts now protect widows from unfair cultural practices. One thing again is, like somebody said, yes, registry is there. One thing again is people think that traditional marriage láṣẹ nítorí ẹni nígbà tí bàbá yẹn wá dàgbàdàgbà tó wá kú, they didn't give me anything. No, now there is a law in Nigeria that supports women and even men to property and inheritance. If the spouse passes away and the family are trying to play tricky one on you and say, Osha kìí ṣe ìyàwó alárédè, should be they didn't give you òrùka like they said. You only got married in tradition. You just did the tradition on your head. Nowadays, there is a marriage right that has been approved that under the customary right that people who married under the customary law also have the right to property and inheritance, and also there are courts. The customary courts are now protecting widows and widowers from unfair cultural practices. So if you got married traditionally, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid that since I did not marry, no, don't be afraid. There's a law that protects you. Can dowry be paid without the parents knowing or asking? That means there's no consent. That means there's no consent, and we have just said that without consent of the parents, it's of no use. Who are you even paying dowry? Dowry is not meant to be paid to the bride, and it's not meant to be paid to anybody. It has to be paid to the parents or representative of the parents in the situation where parents are no longer available. Maybe they've passed on or incapacitated. They don't have the ability to make decisions. Then the guardian or whoever is a parental figure to that particular lady will receive the dowry or bride price. But you don't just go and pay bride price to somebody somewhere in the corner. That means the parents didn't consent. So if they didn't consent, then that's of no use. Also, did you know that children that are born under traditional marriage are legitimate and have equal inheritance rights? Now, maybe we said earlier that if somebody marries a man and then the man somebody marries a man traditionally and the man now decides to go and marry another woman in court, well, they may say that this other person has more legal right to the man, but it doesn't stop the children born from the other woman from having access to their father's inheritance. It is now now you need to know that traditional marriage in Nigeria allow children that are born under that marriage to have legitimate and equal inheritance rights as other children. So bear that in mind. So the children have rights. Then also, did you know that a traditional marriage in Nigeria may not automatically count abroad unless it is registered under the Marriage Act? Now, some abroad, some foreign countries do accept you to prove that we married in the courts, we married the customary way, we did traditional. They can follow pictorial, they can receive pictures and say, oh yeah, this is true, we can see that you actually got married. But some will not. So it is not automatic that unlike the marriage under the act, unlike the marriage that happened in registry, that one is automatic. Once you present the certificates and they can check the validity of that certificate, yes, they will accept it. But if you show them picture, show them the yam, show them everything, pardon me, some country will accept you, but some will say no, we still need the proper marriage certificate. And that's one thing, that is why I said the marriage and the registry is more legal than the one than the traditional one. And then on this one, that we the Alagas, I don't know if some country doesn't recognize it. Yes, you are right, ma. Do you know that the Alagas, the traditional wedding compared, they play both a cultural and legal role. ensuring marriage is properly performed and valid. And that is why you have to reject the service of jesters alagas. Jesters, àwọn alága tẹ́ pé wọ́n wá ṣe àwàdà kẹ́ríkẹ́rí lójú agbo ni. They just came to perform rubbish. They just came to make mockery and fun of your traditional marriage. Some of them do not even follow the steps. They are carried away by the activities and the mesmerizing. They don't focus on the major thing. Some alagas will forget to talk about the dowry. Some alagas will forget to pay attention to the gift that are brought to the. These are the major parts. Some alagas will not even remember that the parents should hand over the bride to the groom. They are busy looking for money, chasing money, and as a result of that, they don't even remember to perform the step-by-step and important part of the Nigerian traditional marriage. Please avoid such. The alagas are supposed to be custodians of culture. They're supposed to play both cultural and legal role in your wedding. If during court, whatever court hearing, they play your traditional wedding videos and they cannot see where your dowry is being handed over, they cannot see where your parents are handing you over, they cannot see where the other parents are unveiling you, all those important parts. Tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ti wà carried away pẹ̀lú eré ipá àti gbogbo kí wọ́n ti ń pè ṣàkúṣàkú gbẹ̀sẹ̀ hey, you need to be careful the kind of alaga that you hire. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of misconceptions as well. Before I round off on this segment, there's a lot of misconceptions, and I need to emphasize on these misconceptions. A lot of misconceptions about our traditional marriage. They say, this is what people think. People think that traditional or religion, they said, the legal reality under Nigerian law court as possible troubles and consequences. Possible troubles. Number one, once we've done the traditional rites, we are automatically married under the law. Many believe the traditional marriage makes them legally married everywhere, even abroad. We've said it. Yes, you are legally married, but are they recognized abroad? To be on the safe side, it might be better for you to go to registry and put more legal stamp on your marriage. Many believe that traditional wedding makes them a customary is valid under a customary law, not under marriage acts, unless it is later registered. Please bear in mind, if your marriage is not registered, please make sure you do so. The fact that alagas and everybody was present does not make your marriage count. Make sure you do so. Lack of legal proof in court, denial of spousal benefits, immigration issues, and property inheritance disputes. These are the things that has occurred because people did not put proper legal stamp on their marriages. A customary marriage is valid only under customary law, not under the Marriage Act, unless it is later registered. Lack of legal proof in court, denial of spousal benefits, immigration issues, or property and inheritance disputes. These are the things that people can face if they don't do proper registration of their marriage. After doing traditional marriage, I can still do court marriage or church marriage with another person. Something each marriage type is separate. Once you've done a statutory court or church marriage, you cannot marry another person, traditionally or otherwise, without first dissolving the statutory marriage. Please, people say, ṣebí wọ́n ti ní pé traditional marriage kò really matter. Tó bá jẹ́ registry ilẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ lọ pẹ̀lẹ́ lómi, tẹ́ ẹ bá lọ fẹ́yàn kan níbi kan traditionally, tẹ́ni ẹ ṣe traditional marriage kan ni mo ṣe pẹ̀lẹ́ nìyẹn. Please get this one right. If you already married somebody in the registry, you now say, ṣebí mi ò fẹ́ legally, kíkọ́ lọ ṣòwò orí ẹ̀ nínà, kíkọ́ lọ ṣòwò orí ẹ̀ ní mi ò really fẹ́ legally, so they can't call me a bigamist, or they can't call me that I'm doing double marriage. If you try it, I'm telling you, if you have done, yes, registry is more legit in the judiciary, which represents this country. Yes, once you are married in the registry and you think, ṣebí tí mi bá ṣá ti fẹ́ lómi lórúkà, tí mi bá ṣá ti lọ ṣe wedding mi ní registry, kò matter. I'm going to say, love fẹ́ ọmọ kan ní corner kan kí n kò sanwó orí ẹ̀ kí n go and pay something small on top of her head. Once you've done statutory, which is called court or church marriage, you cannot marry another person traditionally or otherwise without first dissolving the statutory marriage. If you want to go ahead with second person, you have to dissolve the first marriage. Yeah, this will amount to bigamy, a criminal offense punishable by imprisonment under section 370 of the criminal code. Cut. What have you not she law? You know, when I started studying this, when I started studying and I started doing research regarding this particular book that I'm writing, I like, she mean she law, right? If you want me to be my legal, I want an answer, my learned colleague. Because I just started finding it more and more interesting. I'll probably go and study law and focus on the marriage law and all of that. I think it's so much interesting, you know. So as I was saying before, I was just okay, let's just say, "Mokwe, I know you. If nobody give me kudos, you will say, go ahead, go and do it." Yes, I'm just going to repeat that for emphasis sake. Please bear in mind that once you've done statutory court marriage, you cannot marry another person, traditionally or otherwise, without first without first of all dissolving the statutory marriage. This amounts to bigamy, a criminal offense punishable by imprisonment under section 370 of the criminal code. Yes, and 3,000 naira fine. Church marriage is automatically recognized as legal. Many assume once pastor blesses the union, it's a lawful court marriage. Only churches licensed under Marriage Act can conduct legally recognized marriages. We've said this. I'm just recapping on what we've said. And then marriage certificates must be issued and registered. If the church isn't licensed, the union remains religious only, leaving couples without legal protection or recognition. Bear that in mind. Bride price makes a woman the husband's property. That is a wrong misconception. Some cultural beliefs equate bride price with ownership. Oh, Tio. I'm talking about things that people are misunderstanding. And that's why people say, take. Because some people think that paying of bride price automatically makes a woman the husband's property. Nigerian courts have held that bride price does not transfer ownership. It is only symbolic. A wife remains an independent legal person with rights, promotes domestic abuse, denial of women rights, and potential nullification of abusive customary claims. This nonsense that has been going on in people's head, that is making parents to say, the court now stands against it, that if you say because I've paid bride price and you mishandle a woman, you are going to jail. That woman remain independent whether or not the bride price has been paid. It doesn't make her your slave. So bear in mind, men that think because they paid bride price as a result of that, and you start treating the woman anyhow. No, it is not acceptable, you know. Now, another thing that you need to bear in mind, traditional marriage means the husband can marry more wives even after court wedding. No, you cannot. People think polygamy is automatically allowed because it is cultural under the Marriage Act. Once you contract a statutory monogamous marriage, taking on another wife, even if it's nationally, is illegal. Please. The second union is void, and the man may face criminal prosecution for bigamy and loss of legal rights in both marriages. There's a lot, I'm telling you, that we can talk about on this issue of the legal part of our marriage. Most importantly tonight, if you're not taking anything away, bear in mind that traditional marriage is legal. It is recognized under the law. If you're not going to take anything away tonight, please bear in mind that payment of bride price does not give you automatic ownership of the woman. You're just doing your right. The woman still remains independent. And if you mistreat or maltreat the woman just because you have paid their bride price, you are liable to jail time. It is a criminal offense. And also, 1 second, I'm going to answer your question, Foley B. Also, bear in mind that returning of bride price during traditional marriage, it is totally wrong. What you have just done is you have render the marriage null and void, because payment of bride price is one of the proof that you married that person. Then also bear in mind that if you go to church and get married and the church does not have legal, or should I say license, you have just wasted time. Check with your pastors. Even if you have married 10 years ago, 20 years ago, go and check, go and find out from your church. Tí ó bá jẹ́ pé ẹ lọ sí registry, ẹ lọ sí church yẹn pé ẹ jọ, ṣé according to law ṣé ẹ wà license láti ṣèyàwó fún wa? Tó bá ní no, go to registry. It's not too late. You and your husband should just go to the registry with 2 witnesses and go and legalize your marriage, because whatever you did in that church years ago is just a waste of time. It doesn't count if it comes to the if it comes to the crunch. Yeah. So bride price does not mean you are buying the woman. No, it doesn't mean. Now Foley B says, but awaiting divorce process, can you get to traditional marriage? Can you get to traditional marriage in Nigeria? If you are yet to dissolve your first marriage, you cannot marry anybody in any way, whether traditionally or church or whatever. You cannot. That's what we have just finished with. If you are waiting with divorce, you have to wait until the end of the divorce. The first marriage has to be completely dissolved before you move on to marry anybody else, whether traditionally or in church or whichever way. I hope I answered your question. So guys, it's been a tremendous episode. We're just going to go to the abala kini kinse. The reason I'm not going to go too much into this is, sometimes when you're talking too much, you get people confused. But if you have any question for me, please DM me. And also, like I said, I'm writing a book. Everybody knows that I've started writing this book for a while now. I put it on hold because I discovered that I kept on discovering new things, and it's so exciting. I'm glad I did not launch it the last time when I wanted to launch it, because it would have been so painful that a lot of information will have been missed out. So right now, I'm still in the process of writing this book. I haven't finished, but trust me, it's going to come out anytime soon. And the book is called The Nigerian Traditional Marriage in the Face of the Law. It's going to be talking about everything we're talking about here today and more. And I think that will be my best book yet, because a lot of people are pushing in their own hands without knowing. And I know that having that book is going to help you. I'm going to go straight to abala kini kinse. Thank you everybody for contributing. I really appreciate it. Thank you for staying put. Thank you for, if you're new here, thank you. Especially the Instagram ones or YouTube, you can share. If you know anybody that have been confused or wondering, you can share the Instagram one with them. They can watch from the beginning to the end. If you have questions, you can ask me. Please, I want to do a disclaimer. I am not a legal practitioner. I did not study law. I studied broadcasting. But I want to say that most of the things I've said here tonight have been verified. But if you would like to take any action, I would say please verify again. Check with your lawyer, check with your legal body or whoever. Confirm most of the things that you are saying here tonight before you proceed to do anything. Do not base all your decisions on what you have heard here tonight. Even though I've done my research, I can say I've done my research and I've got good quality, but then it will still be better for you to check with your legal practitioner. So that's a disclaimer. Now let's go to abala kini kinse. Who is ready for abala kini kinse? Abala kini kinse. There's a lady that her husband, they've been married for years and years, and they are quite happy together. The woman said, according to the woman, the man never cheated on her. She never troubled her. She never stressed her. She was always there for her and all of that. Then, unfortunately, the man became ill and passed away from yes, my learned colleague. So the woman, the husband passed away, and just as they were planning and preparing for the funeral, the woman started seeing different women on social media posting her husband, the picture. Oh, my baby daddy just passed away. Oh, my boyfriend just passed away. Oh, he was such a good man. Oh, many people posting the picture of this man with them. Many women saying, my baby father just passed away. The woman was like, what? that is that not the same man that me I'm married to for years and years? I've never seen this man, cheat or anything. How come? Why is it all this coming from? More than 5 women posted this man as their baby father. Other women posting her as their what's it called? As their spouse or whatever of some sort. And this woman said she was so shocked. So they were planning the funeral. And the woman said, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should, I don't know. Please, people, before I now talk about what the woman eventually did, I just want to hear from you first. God forbid this will not be our portion, like we will always say. But if you know anyone that find themselves in this situation, what would you advise that person? Oh yeah, Abala Kinikishe is open before the final food will start pulling. Things they sup. Oh hey. Where is Bukilicious? Where's everybody? Oh yeah, Abala Kinikishe. What would you advise this woman? What would you advise this woman? I don't know. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, let me hear a thumbs up, or I should just close. I think everywhere is quiet. So I come to listen. Is everybody sleeping? Are we still awake? Barrister Oluwabumi Ayashibere is calling you. Courts, arise. Somebody said I should recap. Okay. This particular woman has a husband, a very caring one, according to her. The man was very nice, very kind, never, been violent, very responsible, a good father to her children, and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, this man took ill and passed away. And after, after the man passed away, the woman was preparing for the funeral, heartbroken and everything. And then she suddenly started seeing her husband's picture with different women, with family, with children, saying, oh, my baby father just passed away. Oh, I just lost my baby father. Oh, my baby father just died. And some people are saying, oh, my boyfriend just passed away. And the woman was like, what? I never ever seen this man cheat. I've never caught him cheat. He has never been violent. He's such a kind man. He has never done anything bad to me. He's always there. He's always providing for the family. And now he passed away, and then the woman was meant to be mourning and preparing for the funeral. And this is what the woman say on social media. Somebody said, oh, girl. Hey, oh, girl. It is ga. This is not something that is made up. Oh. This happened new. It happened new. Hey, what would you advise that woman? What would you advise the woman? Before I tell you what the woman did, the woman actually, did some stuff. But before I say what the woman did, what would you advise that kind of person? I mean, ọkùnrin yẹn nice sí ó ṣe dáadáa sí ó tọ́jú àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ kò cheat lójú ẹ̀ kò ṣe ránu kò ṣe kankan. Ó kú tán lára rẹ̀ sí oríṣiríṣi obìnrin. Tọ́dẹ̀ ń gbé fọ́tò dáàdì sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ méjì pẹ̀lú ọmọ mẹ́ta pẹ̀lú ọmọ kan. My baby daddy, my children's father. Ha! And the wife was like, what? Really? So what would you advise, please? What would you advise that kind of woman? If you don't understand Yoruba, that means the matter, he put salt inside somebody's mouth, and also yaso. How do you say yaso in English? MC Monite, come and bail me out. Things they sup. I don't think she has any business with the social media baby mamas, etc. Okay. Funny enough, I don't know. But what would you have her do anyway? What would you advise her? What would you advise that kind of person to do? I mean, well, she doesn't have business with the baby mamas, fine. But what would she do? She said she was mourning, she was disappointed, she was shocked, she was embarrassed. She was wondering when did this man have time to go and do this? Somebody that she should go ahead and give her husband befitting burial. Okay. Well, I don't know. Does anybody have contrary opinion? Especially when children are involved. Okay. Àwọn kìíní ilé o, Ọlọ́run. Orí ọ̀fẹ́ ta ní ó jura wa lọ o. Ó jura wa lọ. Àwọn kankan ṣẹlẹ̀ tó jẹ́ pé you just be wondering pé láyé ta wà yìí náà. Títí tó fi kú tẹ́nìkankan ò dẹ̀ mọ̀, and all the baby mamas will be present. She has not done the funeral. She was preparing for the funeral when she saw it. According to her, she hasn't done the funeral as at the time she was writing. And the baby mamas will be present. I'm sure if she wanted to do the funeral, they'll probably turn up. I actually saw that happen about, during COVID. Someone famous, someone that we all know. Now that we are talking about it, just remembered. The woman was very close to her husband. The woman was very close to her husband. This one had a moile. This is that's what cross mind me. So my oku nínú COVID. He passed away in his office during if I want to be 2 days or thereabouts, come to discover Lord do not long. So when they now wanted to do during the funeral, people turned up and they were claiming that this man was their father. And the wife got angry and reacted, social media gbé wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí bóbìnrin yẹn wí kí ló dé, kí ni big deal, ẹni tó ti kú kó jẹ́ káwọn ọmọ yẹn ṣe bọ̀. They should allow those children to bury their father in peace. It's not the children's fault. Why is the woman being funny? But these things are easier said than done. Sometimes when I see women being how do I call it? When I see women being castigated or being when I see women being embarrassed in public because they reacted to things like this, and then people start saying, what is the big deal? Like somebody said, you have to walk in my shoes for you to understand how I feel. Sometimes people can be quite judgmental. You have no idea how you will react if that happened to you. You do not have any idea how you will react. So people saying, what's the big deal? It's not easy. I remember that time that I was about the only person, or maybe 1 or 2 people that were saying, it's easier said than done, go easy, and doing it for over 2 decades, or more, until 25 years together. You now suddenly wanted to bury the man, started seeing people that you've never seen in your life coming to the funeral to claim that those things are tough. I'm telling you, they're tough. People can say whoever had died, but it's tough, man. It is tough. People need to stop making it look like it's one of those things. I will do the funeral in a close-knitted way with immediate family only, but shall Ojip Goni Benny Olotu. I have witnessed such before. My aunt's husband died, and a woman turned up with 7-year-old boy who was his carbon copy. We've seen it happen a lot of times, but now in this woman's case, it is a ton of women, about 5 women according to her, posted this man as a baby daddy, and nobody knew the furari kò ṣe kò anastisi, kò fún any reason to doubt or to think or to. I don't know how men think they can get away with stuff like that, because I'm not a feminist, and I'm not in support of cheating, infidelity of any sort. I'm not a support, whether from a man or from a woman. But when a woman go and do rubbish outside, there's this screaming, but when the man does it, people see it as if bikini, babara, let them come and do what it's tough. It is tough. They have carried their cross before the man demise without my knowledge. So why should I be bothered? Okay. Some people get mad, sha. Me, I will be upset. Definitely, I will be upset knowing whether or not he's alive, suddenly knowing that the man is there. But it's not as if I'm going to do anything about it. There's nothing you can do. If you kill yourself, you just kill yourself for nothing. I won't do anything about it, but I'll be upset. Now, let me tell you what the woman did. The fact that he was good to her should count for something. But yeah, look, no. Forgive me, but to be honest with you, you're good, fine. That's your responsibility. You're supposed to be good. You're supposed to be responsible, So you having several baby mamas and then maybe that's something that she used to cover the woman's face. If you have a niceness, a woman said that to bring you on fura. Of course, anyone will be upset. Yes. Okay, it's a tough one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie about it. It's tough. It is tough. And then before I say what that woman did, let me ask this question: which one is better? A man that is cheating and hiding it completely away from the woman, not letting her know, kò jẹ́ kíyàwó mọ̀, kò jẹ́ kó fura, ó dẹ̀ ti wọ́n àwọn girlfriend pé tó bá jẹ́ kíyàwó mi mọ̀ tí ẹ bá ẹ. And the one that is showing it every day pé wá ń bí ọmọ mo ń tọmọ mo dẹ̀ ń ṣe náà nìyẹn, kò sí nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe sí. Which one is better? Of course, psychologically you will be tormented and find it difficult to trust anyone again. None is better. Mr. Buki, you cannot stand on the fence. Which one is the window shape away more? None. The women on this show, where MC Mona is everybody saying none. Okay, which one is worse? Let's put it the other way. Which one is worse? Ele tó ń ṣe pé wá ń bí ọmọ, mo ń ṣọmọ mo dẹ̀ ń ṣọmọ náà nìyẹn kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ ṣe sí. Kò sí nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe sí. Kò sí nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe sí. Ọmọ gbogbo àwọn girlfriends mi, àwọn baby mamas mi, àwọn tó bímọ sí mi, kódà gan in fact most of them mo ti ralé fún wọn nítòsí ọ̀dọ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n kẹjọ máa kọ́ ọmọ olùbọ̀, kò sí nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe sí. Àti yìí tí ẹ̀ tí èlé ever fúnra ráyé ipò tẹ̀ ń ṣe anything. Ipò tẹ̀ ń ṣe anything. Tó sọ fún àwọn girlfriend pé ṣojú tó bá jẹ́ kíyàwó mi mọ̀. Ní tó bá jẹ́ kíyàwó mi mọ̀. Tí ẹ bá ẹ. Both are worse and worse. Both are worse. Someone said both, because the one that hides it kept the torture for future. Hey, being alone is better than community husband. Ọlọ́run máa ṣàánú fún wa o. Community husband. If it is a woman, they have a name that they give them. Aláǹfààní àdúgbò. Gbogbo ayé ló ti débẹ̀, gbogbo ayé ló ti ṣe community husband. A man that cannot control his thing, that jumps from bed to bed. God I beg to fear qua, like the Igbo people will say. None. Animal shall jump from bed to bed, does not have control. Ìyàwó ọ̀rẹ́, ọ̀rẹ́ ìyàwó, friends, family, it does not have any control. They are very dangerous. Well, you may tell them that you don't want your wife to know. Behave yourself, don't let my wife see you. But it's dangerous because most of the time you're exposing the woman to danger, you're exposing the family to danger, you're oh my God, he's a distributor of natural resources. People like that, they are very dangerous. Whether the woman know or the woman don't know, they're very dangerous. They're dangerous in the fact that Yorùbá lọ wọ́n bọ̀ wọ́n ní ẹni tó bá fẹ́ ni láyà ó lè ṣekú pa ni. Ẹni tó bá fẹ́ ni lọ́kọ náà lè ṣekú pa ni. Men that expose their wives to multiple infidelity, apart from the fact that you're exposing them to danger of infection and what have you and all of that, then you're also exposing that woman to danger of being hurt, because most of the time the wives outside, the ones outside, they know the one inside, they monitor them closely, they will follow them to anywhere without them knowing. Some of them are even friends, some of them are close. The woman at home will not have a clue, and they can do and undo. They will also attack the children, anything to get the man, they will do it. Exposing the family to disease, disgrace, and fetishism. Yes, they'll be fetish to this one, and the woman will not know. It's so deadly. It is death inside. It's so deadly. So, as everybody has said, none of them is good. What's there? Like somebody said, I don't know, anybody. Any woman that goes outside their marriage to go and be doing whatever is deadly, and any man that does it as well is very deadly. None of them is good. Now back to our Abalakiniki show today. That woman, she's a black American woman. The woman said she called the mother to let the mother know. The mother of that man is still alive. was still alive as at that time. She said she called the mother and told the mother that this is what your son did. And the mother said, oh my God, what a disgrace to the family. I did not raise him that way. The woman was equally as upset and embarrassed as the woman. And then the wife said, she now told the mother, come and carry all his things. So, now she now did, what do they call that thing when they burn the body? When they burn this cremation. So she now did cremation to the man, and she said she donated his ashes for scientific research. I was like, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. It was getting, oh yeah, yes, cremation. Thank you, ma. She donated. She donated. She said she did like just intimate, like Leviticus as rightly said, and then she cremated the body and donated the ashes for scientific research, and also asked the parents and siblings to come and carry whatever they want to carry in anything that belongs to him, all his personal belongings. Come and carry. He said after they carried whatever they wanted to carry, she disposed everything. Anything that has to do with that man, she disposed everything. She doesn't want to remember him for anything. She didn't even hold anything back to remember him, you know. Is it research to know how to be a community husband or be what? She donated the man's and I think that's I wouldn't have thought about that anyways, you know. And I think that's a good one, because in that part of the world they believe that the man, once he is married, belongs to the wife and all of that. They don't, you know. But we're on the part of the world where we come from, well, God forbid, if that thing happens to me, I'll just say, come and carry your thing. After a year, if you want to carry. And I like what the woman did anyway. So she said she moved on after that to know how their bones is formed. Maybe. Some of these things are better said in situations like this, when we just talk about it and we just refer to other people's situation and we just laugh over it. God forbid that we experience it. It's not a nice thing. Some people will never recover from it. And the children of that man will grow up one day and ask questions. What happened? And in this case, the children are quite fully grown. They can see their dad everywhere. The kind of embarrassment that the wife received can never be quantified, let alone that of the children. You know, the children must have been so embarrassed. The friends will probably see what their dad had done online, and probably use it against those children, laugh at them, make fun of them and stuff like that. So please, I don't know why people just, you know, I don't know, when you are doing all this, you don't think about the implication of on your immediate family. You don't think of the implication on your reputation. Let's just be civil. I mean, I don't know, I'm back from bed to bed. Lord have mercy. Anyways, MC Monite, it is your esophagus. Oh, it's been almost 2 hours of amazing conversation. God bless you. Before we close one more time, we want to celebrate our beautiful, gorgeous Iyawo Baba on her birthday today. Iyawo Baba, we celebrate you. We miss you today. We know that the only reason why you're not here today is because it's your birthday and you're probably somewhere celebrating. We also join your family and the rest of the world to celebrate you. Thank you for being an amazing, amazing member of this family. ETO IGBEYAWO family. We really appreciate you. God bless you, ma. Enjoy the rest of your day. Yes. Esophagus ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa ń wọní kájọrọ pẹ́ lẹ́nu ṣùgbọ́n òun fana fún ní kò ń gbà fún wa tó bẹ́ẹ̀ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ lórí ètò lẹ́ni adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run tó jẹ́ ká tún rí ètò tèmi ṣe ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi tẹ́ bá wa dá sétò mo dúpẹ́ ẹ kú gbogbo ògbà Ọlọ́run á wà pẹ̀lú yín gbogbo iléeṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ṣagbátẹrù ètò yà dúpẹ́ ẹ kú gbogbo ògbà Ọlọ́run á wà pẹ̀lú gbogbo wa lágbára Ọlọ́run mo tún wá ń fàsìkò yìí náà sọ fún gbogbo wa wípé èmi Olúwabùnmi aya Òṣìbẹ̀rù lílọ mo tuntun ti ń lọ yìí ogun ó lọ kò dé kò ní jẹ́ tèmi, ogun ó dé kò bá wọn kò ní jẹ́ titi yín. Mo gbàdúrà pé ayọ̀, ìdùnnú àti àlàáfíà tí mo máa fi yín sílé ní òun náà ni mo máa padà wá bá yín lọ́jọ́ mẹ́jọ lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Wọ́n fàsìkò yìí sọ fún gbogbo wa wípé láyọ̀ láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o, mo ní láyọ̀ láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o, ẹ̀yin ò ní forígún èmi ò ní fẹsẹ̀ kọ o, mọ́tò yòówù ká lè wọ̀ kó ní forí sọ̀gì o, láyọ̀ láyọ̀ la ó máa, láyọ̀ láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé, láyọ̀ láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o. Thank you so much everybody. For some reason our ETO IGBEYAWO music has refused to play, so I will see you all next week by the special grace of God. Thank you for always. I celebrate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you. Remember that even after the show, you can still share this to people that may be interested in learning. God bless you. Bye. Our ETO IGBEYAWO music did not play tonight. Bye, everybody. God bless you. Bye.